Hello everybody. It is Coach Malcolm, and this is the second video in my series on playing live chess with some pretty weird, some pretty rare openings and setups. So this is the second video in this series. My first video I played b4, move 1 for white, the orangutan. It worked out well. I wouldn't say it's my favorite opening though, but I am back with another one. This one is actually, I just realized, also named after an animal. Today we're playing with the black pieces, and if you haven't been here before, this is where I play super weird openings live, and I sort of narrate the games. We do some analysis afterwards. This is the hippopotamus defense for black. So this is the structure that I am going for. 2 pawns, 1 pawn on the 7th, 2 pawns, 1 pawn on the 7th, 2 pawns, and then some pretty symmetrical looking pieces. If you cut this position in half for black, it would be identical on both sides. Pretty funky. So I've, turned to some websites. What is the best way to sort of start playing this opening, I would say? What's the best move order? And it looks like people fianchetto the G bishop first, bishop G7. They play D6, develop their knight, then they develop their other bishop. So it looks pretty normal, right? Let's see over here. We've got a similar bishop G7, D6. Okay, they played E6 and knight C7 first, knight E7, and then this guy actually didn't do it all the way. Oh no, they did, 100% to their credit. They did. So this is our formation. So without further ado, let's stop stalling. Let's create a game because we want to play black. So we're gonna do the same as last time. 5-3, 5-2, fine. And I will be playing black. Hopefully we get a challenge quick. I want to see how this game goes. Boom, right away. All right, let's get started. All right, so a little nerve-wracking. G6, bishop G7. Okay, my opponent may be, a little confused at what's going on. It's a weird opening to play. D6, but they can't really stop this sort of setup. There's no, at least as far as I know, no way for them to stop me from doing this. Knight D7. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and fianchetto my other bishop. I don't see any, big problems. And then after I get my sort of formation down, I'm just gonna be playing regular chess the best I can, doing with, making do with what I have for the position. The thing double fianchetto bishops, I've never been a big fan of. I'm sure I've done it in my games. It sort of limits your options, I feel. Also, these knights don't have a lot of options, especially, you can already see they're kind of limited. My pawn structure is a little funky. There's a reason this is sort of a weird opening. I think I'm going to castle kingside, although it would be interesting to launch a full kingside attack. But I think, what do we think? Should we go for something? No, I think this is too. I think I would get hit with my own sort of queenside attack. Their pieces are much more ready to do something like that. I already have a lot of pawns moved around. All right, so how are we going to proceed? I like this C5 move, sort of stopping. Well, it doesn't really stop D4, but it's sort of putting pressure on that, and I want to play a D5 push going forward. Obviously, guys, here I finished my structure. If you didn't notice, I didn't. I forgot this A6 move. Okay, I'll come back to it. I am deeply sorry. We got to make it perfect, right? We got to play the hippopotamus defense the way the hippopotamus defense was meant to be played. My apologies. Again, I will play A6 next move, unless, my opponent is going to play something else. All right, A6, fine. Finish off our structure. Now let's just imagine this pawn is on C7 and we're not castled, and we've got a final structure, everybody. All right, they're not really doing anything here. This knight, obviously is trying to get a D4 push in. But I'm going to do D5 first. My pawn is guarded. I'm feeling okay. Queen C7 is probably where my queen is going to make her home. Ooh, he's going to lock it up. It does make my bishop good for the future, and I'll try an F6 push sooner or later. I do like this square right now, knight F5. They might kick me out with G4, but again, that would help my bishop in the long run after I play the D5 move. I don't want them to lock it up with D4, though. I'm a little bit worried about that. Because they can play D4 here. That would make my life quite certainly, certainly quite difficult. So maybe I shouldn't have played knight F5. Maybe I should play, I don't know, knight C6. I don't know. We'll look later. We'll come back like we always do. Maybe queen C7 here. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4 attackers. or defenders, I guess, against the d4 push, and I've only got 2. So I could go after this e5 square, but I assume after f6 they would just play something like pawn push. And that would just, I mean, that doesn't really help me much. But maybe I can open up this f file a little bit, or at least open up my rook to have a little help on defense. If they play g4 here, I'd be a little surprised, but I guess I can relocate to c6, even though it blocks in my bishop. Alright, well, this is the way these openings go. Again, I'm going to try and figure out a way to avoid this because I want sort of more evenly matched games. I'm playing a 1400. Last time I did play, okay, d4 like we expected. I played a 1300 last time, and I found that they were actually pretty good. They played a solid game up to a certain point. But, this is kind of how it goes when you send out custom matches because I need to play black. I'm not going to get paired for white and lose a bunch of rating points. That would be unfortunate. Not what we want. So I'll try and figure that out. Maybe just roll the dice, start recording once I've figured out a proper matchup. All right, sort of just talking on my own here. Let's get back to the game. D takes e5. All right, so I'm glad I can play this d4 move later, open up my bishop for some action, for some activity. I am going to play queen c7 here. I don't hate my position. I think it's cramped, but I think white's also pretty cramped here. I mean, look at these pieces. We've got a whole metropolis, a whole conglomerate of pieces just sort of mushed together over there. All right, you're coming for my e6 pawn. I see ya. You're not that sneaky. And I'm not going to let it happen. So I'm going to play rook e8. If g4, I'm going to play knight h6, which is not the best square, but I can't go back to e7 because then I will get hit with knight takes e6. And again, that is if white plays g4 here, which is not, the most expected move. Okay, bishop f3, fair. They're trying to challenge my bishop, but it looks like they have put their knight in a bit of a unfortunate position, guys. I don't know how many squares this knight has. I don't know if this knight has any squares. I guess they could try g4 here. I think g4 is their best bet, a counterattack. All right. They went for g4, but I'm actually liking it here. This is going to open up a lot for me. If I play knight e7, like I said, knight takes e6 is going to be unfortunate. Do I have a way around this? I'd love to play knight h4 and attack f3 with check. But the bishop's just going to take me. I'm thinking about knight d4 because, what if I could take on f3, but they're just going to take me, obviously, there too. All right, let's go ahead, stop wasting our time. Take this knight on g5. They're going to take back. Lovely. Why don't we take with the rook, right? No major problems. Yeah, so bishop g4, sorry. Bishop g4. I still have e6 protected. I can play rook takes f4 or something like that. See, the problem is now first of all, their king is more exposed than mine. E5 is going to fall soon. Okay, so bishop g4. Am I missing something? This looks fine by us, right, guys? I think it's all right. All right. Maybe they'll try bishop e3 here. But in that case, I think I can probably take on f1. And I might lose the g5 pawn, but I also have e5 falling as well. So like I was saying, this pawn structure that used to be super, super solid is now falling apart. Unfortunately for J. Trujillo, which is my opponent. I am M. Galpin Levine. If any of you are on Lee Chess, want to add me. Always nice to make friends on the virtual online chess platforms. All right, bishop g3, kind of what we were expecting, but I do like this rook e4 here. I was just watching a lesson, helping out with a lesson with Coach Matthew today, where he warned against moves like rook e4, rook e5 for white because you kind of can get trapped. But I think I'm okay here. I know it's kind of a risky thing to say to go against Coach Matthew's advice, but I do like the central activity of this rook. Hopefully he won't be too upset with my play. And e5 is going to fall as well. I just have a lot of control of the position. My bishop hopefully is going to open up. I keep saying that. I'm not opening it up. I kind of just need to find the right time to go about doing that, which hopefully comes soon. Queen f2 I don't like that much. Rook f8 I would get hit with this bishop check. But my opponent's threatening queen f7. Is their primary goal. I'm guessing in this position. But the question is, what will they do if I just take on e5? Right here I'm guarding f7 with my queen. I've got more than enough defender. I've got 3 defenders on that knight, and they only have 1 attacker. All right, they're gonna cause trouble for me. They're gonna cause some problems. That's not, that well appreciated. But what if I played knight takes g4? Well, first of all, let's not have our rook just hanging out in the middle. Well, maybe we do want to have our rook hanging out. Knight takes g4. Bishop takes. I gotta watch my time. Knight takes g4. Bishop takes c7. Knight takes f2. Yeah, I think I come out at the very least equal in that position. If rook takes e4, knight takes f2, bishop takes c7. Knight takes e4, and let's keep in mind, I think I'm up material, right? 3, 4, 2, 4, 6, 7. I'm up 3 pawns. It's a lot of pawns. I didn't realize I was up 3 pawns. All right, that's what happens when you monologue your games. That's what happens sometimes. That's all right. All right. Well, we're just we're waiting here for our opponents. I feel like I have all the bases covered. I hope I have all the bases covered. So obviously my queen is hanging right now, but my opponent's queen is hanging equally as much. If pawn takes g4, then I need to move my queen. But I think there maybe I would think about bishop. Yeah, I think I'd think about bishop e5, because I'm fine with pawn takes, and I have ideas with pawn push, opening up again, like I keep talking about, opening up my bishop's diagonal for play. All right, they took back. All right, I think we're gonna go with, well, I don't want to open up problems on the H file, but I think I'll be all right for now, with all honesty. So let's play this. Ooh, we do not want to play that, because then our queen's gonna get pulled off f7. All right, good. Very close call. Let's move on over to queen e7. Oh, well, we don't. What am I talking about? We can just, no. Woof. All right, the time pressure is getting to me. We need to get our queen to safety. Boom, we did that. Now we can play rook f8. e6 is no longer a threat because that bishop is gone. Also, it's guarded 3 times by 3 different pieces. Rooks and queens. All right, we got to take back our piece, of course. Like I said, I'm not too unhappy with this. I am going to have some e3 push, hopefully. Mate on h1 would be absolutely spectacular. I don't know how likely it would be, though, because queens might trade off. But again here, 2, 4, 6, 7 pawns, 3, 4. We still have a 7 to 4 pawn advantage. Given I do have a lot of double pawns, I will acknowledge that fact. All right, my opponent is trying to. Oh, I forgot. I'm so low on time. I'm gonna go for rook d3 here. They don't want to trade. I mean, they just don't want to get into problems on the F file. But yeah, I mean, I feel pretty well guarded. My opponent's going to get into time pressure too. We might be in a bit of a scramble here. All right, that doesn't look like best move. Rook d3, applying some pressure. I'm probably going to get an e3 push with check here if I'm interested in doing that. That queen doesn't have a lot of options either. Probably going to have to go e1, I guess. e2 maybe if they want to be a little risky, because e3 is not too fun to deal with. e1 is the choice. I'm gonna play this move. Whoa, what am I doing? Completely just hanging my queen. They're gonna miss it. Wow, I'm not exactly sure what was kicking in right there. We'll come back to that in a second. All right, we're gonna win some material here. Wow, that was incredibly lucky. My heart jumped. I'm about to flag as well. Let's pick up this queen. Let's not lose this game, even though we definitely should have. All right, we are going to checkmate soon. I'm not really thinking about these moves anymore. They might flag also. All right, there we go. Checkmate. Wow. I'm a little disappointed, if I'm being totally honest with you guys. So what happened here? What was the brain process? Because if we look at our analysis board, obviously the computer is going to tell us that I'm just completely losing here after bishop takes d6, takes d6, of course. Whatever, we don't need to go down this. I just lost my queen. I guess we're both in time pressure. I'm sort of focused on explaining the game, but also on playing my moves. I was thinking queen d6 for some reason. Then I have ideas attacking this guy on g3, and I'm also guarding my rook. Definitely not the right idea. I got pretty lucky that that happened, and then obviously I'm just completely winning here. All right, so crazy time pressure blunder. Let's be honest. I feel like they happen to everybody. I'm gonna leave this game. I'm gonna post a video. Let's take a look at the game quickly first because it was kind of interesting, right? Obviously, I know we kind of went far. We ended up making it to whatever it was, 35 moves. But if if you forgot what this video is about, it's about the hippopotamus. All right, we got our structure going. All right, so it says I'm not bad here. It says it's pretty equal. 0.2 plus 0.2. That's like barely, barely. Okay, now we've got 0. Couldn't even finish my sentence. Equalized. I don't know why it jumped so quickly to -3 for a second. Maybe I imagined it. Okay, knight c5 is better here. Fine. I don't really see a big problem with c5, but I guess knight c5 is just sort of about being more active. And if something like d4, then e4 is just hanging. But anyways, I played c5, d5. Okay, remember I had to finish my variation off here. Sometimes it jumps. That's kind of weird. All right, but d5, e5. This was kind of annoying, right? It sort of made my position harder to play, even more cramped than it was before. f6. They think that move is fine. Pawn takes back. Queen c7, not a big deal. Okay, rook over, great move. Bishop f3. All right, so now I'm winning. h6, g4, pawn takes, rook takes. So if you guys remember, this was because, oh wow, it fell apart so badly. I guess I missed something here. What did I played rook takes, right? Okay, so I guess it's not. I mean, pawn takes, bishop takes, pawn takes. Point being, oh, I guess we have a piece for a number of pieces, and we're just gonna have a kingside attack. But they say rook takes is better. Okay, rook e4. Maybe Coach Matthew was right. I'm still up a lot, but I guess they prefer something like rook takes, queen takes, and then just taking on e5 like I did later on. And now, I mean, if we count the material, 2, 4, 6, 7, 3, 4 up, 3 pawns. This is completely winning. I'm going to take control of the f file soon as well. All right, rook e4 though. Queen f2, knight takes like we talked about. Knight takes g4 doesn't look bad all also. Okay, so something else I missed here. All right, guys, so it's important to look through these games. Am I a perfect chess player? Not even close. I have a ton of flaws. I completely missed this here. It is hard to sort of narrate and do the games at the same time. But, right, rook takes g4, great move here. Pinning this bishop, it obviously just can't take on c7. My mistake. Obviously, I see it now. So I played queen e7, rook takes, pawn takes. I'm still winning. You can see the engine -4. Queen e3, okay, rook d8 was a good move. Rook d3, great. Okay, and here I was thinking about pushing pawn e3, and then we've arrived at our just colossal blunder, time pressure blunder. And sometimes this happens in games, and especially online games. I feel like I'll sort of just miss over things or just gloss over things more easily. But again, right, I just was thinking for some reason queen takes g3 is just attacking g3 is applying more pressure. And then, I mean, if you guys watch back, I realized right away. Luckily, I got lucky. Obviously, here White is just completely losing. They ran into trouble quick. They were also in time pressure. We had, I think, around 10 seconds here, maybe 20. So not the worst time pressure ever, but still a big blunder. But regardless, I'm gonna go ahead post this video because we did have a6 right here. Our crazy structure, the hippopotamus defense. This is the second in our series on playing weird defenses, trying them out and then seeing where our mistakes lay. So did I have mistakes in that game? 100%. But are we here to learn about them together? 110%. All right, so I will be back with a part 3 later, maybe this week, maybe next week. We will see. Maybe it'll be an animal variation. Maybe it'll be something else. I saw something called the toilet variation we might be looking into. I don't know. It looks a little tricky to sort of craft into a real game. I will figure it out. I will be back. If you enjoyed this video and the orangutan, hopefully tune in for our next one where we try out some new crazy openings. And I will see you guys then. Thank you all so much.